What's up, guys? Going live here tonight. Hope everybody's doing good so far. I've had a pretty good day so far. Pretty successful. Got a workout in. Stretched out a bunch. Cooked a ton of pasta. Ate like a pound of pasta today. Trying to gain some weight here. Put on as much weight as I can, and then as summertime comes around, start shedding some of that away. And just get ready for some warmer weather here, because getting sick and tired of the cold. So either got to go somewhere soon and get out of here, or deal with it and stay till the summer. So what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome to the chat. Hope everybody's doing good. Thought I'd go live for a little bit tonight. We're just chilling. Nothing really going on. It's they. What's up? What's up, guys? Today, I wanted to talk about taking risks and if it's worth it to take risks. Some of the things you should think about before you take a risk. If you watch my channels, you probably know that I've traveled to a lot of countries. And of course, when you move overseas and you go places, there's always risks involved with that. So I've done some really crazy things in my past as far as taking chances. And a lot of times things don't work out in your favor, you know. But the matter of the fact is, if you just keep trying, and you're gonna fail along the way, eventually, if you just never give up and you continue to take those risks, given that they are calculated in your favor and actually applying to things that you want to achieve, then eventually you're gonna succeed in the end. So, I mean, I don't advise taking stupid risks, but if there's a reward associated with a risk, I think it's a good idea to take that, right? A lot of people take risks for no reason, pretty much, whether that be trying drugs or, doing things like stealing and stuff like that. These aren't really, great risks, right? Because they're detrimental to your health and your integrity. But if you take a risk financially, if you take a risk about where you live, who you hang out with, then I think that those are worth taking, right? Because eventually, like I was saying before, if you just never give up, you're not going to succeed every time. But if you just never quit, eventually it's going to be worth it. What's up, Conaldo? The Brazil, love you, bro. Hey, let's go, man. I appreciate that. I love Brazil. I grew up playing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That was my sport. So I appreciate that. I've never been to Brazil, but I have a travel channel. And, someday I think it would be really cool to get to film some videos in Brazil. One of my best friends just recently got back to Brazil. He was there for Carnival. And so, yeah, I appreciate the love and support. Hopefully someday I'll be able to get down there. So what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome to the chat. Derry, what's up, my man? I appreciate it, dude. How you doing? How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing good, guys. It's snowing where I am today, so, I got the hat on and the hoodie. It's a little bit chilly, but it's all good, What's up, my man? I'm from Illinois, so I'm up near Chicago. It's cold up here. It's wintertime, So where are you from? I'm interested. Oh, Sao Paulo, bro. Oh yeah, my buddy was. That's where he was. Yeah, he went there, and he also went to Rio. So that's what's up. I really want to get out there because I actually I actually, when I lived down in Florida for a while, and I learned how to surf when I lived there. So I know Brazil has surfing too, so I would love to go down there and check that out. Of course you could subscribe to me, my man. Yeah. I'm trying to form a community of people who want to achieve great levels of success, and I'm trying to, put out these videos to form a community so we can have conversations to help each other reach our goals. So please be my guest and subscribe. I'm in McHenry County. I know where that is, my man. Cool. That's super cool. I was born in Kane County, so we're pretty close to each other. So yeah, it's a small world. I'm glad I have some people in the chat from where I'm from, and I'm glad I have some people in the chat that are from other countries too. That's really cool. Yeah, I do have an Instagram. I don't use it like a ton. Honestly, I kind of forget my name. I think it's just my name, but yeah, you can check it out. You're a very respectful gentleman, and I'd like to ask before I subscribe, and I subscribe though. Dude, yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, but yeah, guys, like I said, like if you guys like my content, you don't have to ask me to subscribe. I want to have build relationships with my subscribers. I don't want you guys to feel like you're just subscribers. You guys are my friends. And like I said before, I started this channel to just videotape when I was living in Thailand, but as I kept making videos, I'm like, I want to make videos and actually try to grow this channel and grow a community. And so yeah, guys, and sub. Hey Lash, I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate the subscriptions. So dude, White Sox or Cubs? The chat needs to know. Man, I'm a White Sox fan, so it's not good, guys. The White Sox have been really bad lately. I used to love baseball. I watched the White Sox win in 2005, but yeah, you're a White Sox fan too? Let's go. Let's go. Hey, it's good to see, man, because, I mean, everybody around here, like, there's so many Cubs fans, and, yeah, it's like, the Cubs have been, they've been a good team lately, so, I guess, that's good for them, but, man, we need the White Sox to get better, man. Yeah, it's been an awful 5 years, but this is our year. Yeah, I mean, hopefully so. I mean, we need to continue to have a stronger bullpen, right? And we got some younger guys, so we'll see. Hopefully the Sox are better. So so yeah, guys, let me know, where are you guys from? Other people in the chat, where are you guys coming from? We got somebody from Brazil. We have some people from Illinois. Yeah, so that's really cool. Well, are you a Bears fan? You like the Bears, or the Bears had a pretty good year this year, guys. I played baseball for the White Sox. What? I played baseball for the White Sox. Alexis Scott. Really? I don't know. That's sweet. I mean, if we have someone in the chat that actually played for the White Sox, that's pretty legendary. But that's really cool. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a baseball player, like a lot of people, So I got switched over to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was in high school, and I quit baseball, and so I switched my sports. But go Bears! But I want to see Travis Benjamin start. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think that I don't know. Hopefully the Bears just continue to get better and better. Let's go. Let's see. So what's the strategy would be for us who want to live in Thailand and make some money? Yeah, we could get into that, guys. Also, some dude, I'm just wondering, you like Caleb Williams? What do you think? Pretty good, right? But yeah, Asen. So the strategy to move over to Thailand and make money. There's a couple different routes we can go, right? Like one route, and it also depends where you're from, right? So I'm from America, so it's a native English-speaking country, and I'm working on my bachelor's degree. So if you're from, like Canada, America, the United Kingdom, and Australia, then an option for Thailand is to become a teacher. But the problem is you don't really make that much money. You make 30,000 Thai baht, which is like right around 1,000 US dollars. So the problem is a lot of people just they want to make more money than that. And then, if you're from, not like a native English speaking country, it's going to be harder to get hired too. So the alternative option is to work remotely, right? And the good thing about working remotely is you can make a lot more money, right? You can make a lot of money. So as I keep making videos, I have connections to people who know how to find online jobs in sales. So not everybody wants to do sales, right? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've done sales and it's really, really hard. You got to get good at communicating with people, right? And taking rejection. But if some of you guys want to do that and you feel like you can handle that, or you just want to build that skill, then I have some connections for you guys to have access to people who have made a lot of money in Thailand in sales. So as my channel gets bigger, I'm gonna bring that value to you guys. I'm also gonna continue to provide value on how to become teachers for those of you who are from native English speaking countries and want to teach. I've been a teacher. I've taught students in Taiwan, Korea, China, Thailand, Vietnam, all over East Asia, guys, in Southeast Asia. So if you guys, are interested in that, please let me know. And I can make videos teaching you guys how to get online teaching jobs, how to get online sales jobs, and how to teach in person. But what I'm going to be honest with you guys about is these things aren't easy. You can't, if you want to achieve something great in life, like moving across the world and having a better life, you have to work very, very hard. And I know a lot of you guys know this, but you have to really become obsessed and not give up, because most people say they want to, like have a lot of money or move across the world, but they're not really willing to put in the effort. So, you have to be willing to work hard, So let's see what we got in the chat. Oh yeah, so yeah, he's a solid dude. Yeah, dude, Caleb Williams is really good, man. To teach English, you have to get good at scamming without a conscience. Okay. What about utilizing cheap labor of Thailand and export in West? Labor arbitrage. Utilizing cheap labor and export in West. Yeah, the problem with that is about you trying to use labor for arbitrage and stuff like that is like, if you look back in America, like if you know about the Rockefeller family, they were able to do that because they had so much capital. So they had so much money. So that's really only possible if you have like a lot of capital to invest, because you're competing against American companies and companies across the entire world who can essentially come in and invest like a lot of money to hire employees. And even if you wanted to start something smaller, you would still need a lot of capital to do that, because, you would have to probably have, specific visa requirements for Thailand. And I think that that's only an option for those who have a lot of capital. $1,000 a month is too little. $1,000 a month is enough money to live a good life in Thailand. I think so. Most Thais live on less than 30,000 baht a month. And so it works for them. Of course, you're not going to have a lot of the luxuries. If you want to live a life where, you're living on Sukhumvit Road, or, in Phuket, in some condo, then I would tend to agree with you. It's not enough. But if you just want to live like a normal, decent life in Thailand, it's $1,000 is enough. But you do have to. All right, I had a technical glitch, but we're back. So guys, we're back. I don't know if you guys, if I disappeared for a little bit. I had a technical problem. But back to you, Asen. Yeah, I agree with you there. You can't really save money and retire, but that's why I tell people to go to Asia and use teaching English as a stepping stone and a vehicle to reach your bigger goals. So you can use teaching English as a way to move to Thailand and survive there. But that's why I always advise people to start something on their side, so eventually over time that'll produce them a lot of money. Whether that's, you're making YouTube videos, or you're investing in cryptocurrency, or Forex, or, you're starting your own personal brand or offer. The goal is to get out of the matrix, right? So the goal is to do whatever you can to get out of the rat race that you live in. And teaching English is a good way to do that. So you shouldn't think of it as something that you're going to do for the rest of your life, unless if you really like it. If you really like teaching English, and some people do. I've met people overseas who like it. And, if you go to China, or you go to Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City, and you teach in the private section, you can make a lot of money, and you can make enough money where you could save, and you're making a positive impact on the society. And the other thing about teachers in Asia is it's not like teachers in America. They're well respected in the community. You guys probably know that education is really important in Asia, and it's a career that gives you a lot of dignity and success in Asia. So yeah, guys, but you're gonna have to take a risk initially to follow your dreams. When you first start off, it's not gonna be easy unless if you come from a rich family or you have some sort of privilege. For most people, you have to take a risk if you want to live the life that you really want to live. Because if you just never, make a change or go to drastic measures, like your life's never going to change, right? Like you have to do something really dignifying in your life and drastic, right? You have to do something drastic. You have to make a major change, and you have to manage your money. You have to be responsible. Looking back, I've probably been to Thailand over 25 times in my life, and a lot of those times, like, I just was being irresponsible. It wasn't the end of the world because I could come back to the States and make more money, but looking back, it's like, it makes me think, like, if I would have invested in myself more and taking things more seriously, then, you know, I could have stayed longer. But at the same time, you know, you're gonna make mistakes. The main concern is to just never quit, right? Um, no matter no matter how no matter how bad your situation kind of gets, you can always dig yourself out of holes, and that's kind of what I think about risks. You know, don't take risks that are gonna get other people hurt or get yourself hurt. But you know, be brave enough to take risks that, you know, might kind of screw you over a little bit. Like, you know, maybe you'll lose some money, maybe, you know, you might lose some acquaintances, you know, you might lose people in your family that believe in you. um, but you know, I know I'm kind of rambling on here about it, but yeah, I just think, like, do whatever you had to do. If you want to go to Asia or South America or come to America or Europe, wherever you want to go, um, you know, it's not going to be easy, right? But especially if you're from, you know, countries with like weaker passports, you know, like, you know, I know a lot of people from Thailand who want to come to America, and because of, you know, the immigration pause going on in America, they can't even get visas to come to the country right now. So, you know, it's pretty unfair if you think about it, because it's all just kind of stupid. Because, like, you know, where you're from doesn't really dictate if you're a good person. It doesn't really dictate if, you know, you've accomplished anything in your life. It's just blatantly unfair. And I know it's really discouraging because, you know, I know a couple people who I'm really close to who are Thai, and they want to come to America, but because of the immigration pause, like, they can't come here right now. And, you know, it's very frustrating, you know, for these people that work so hard to try to come to America, and then, you know, they just change the rules and say that you can't come. And I know it's really discouraging. Sometimes you have to pivot, and sometimes, you know, that's what happens in life. You know, things don't work out the way you think they will, but sometimes a better opportunity will come. And, you know, it's like, if you can't come to America, then maybe try Europe or try Australia, you know. And, you know, if you're American and or from wherever, you know, go try countries that you want to live in. And, you know, a lot of them probably won't work out for you. But, you know, if you're really interested in being an expat and, you know, living in a country that's not your own, it's not going to be easy, no matter where you're from. And, you know, it's just important to, you know, try not to get too discouraged and never give up. All right, guys, I'm going to go grab a Coke, and I'll be back in 1 sec. What's up, guys? Where you guys from in the chat? Put it in the chat. I think I know where some of you guys are from that might be watching. But we had someone earlier who was from Brazil. That was pretty cool. I really want to go to Brazil. My good friend Tyler just got back from Brazil, and I really want to go. So, guys, so yeah, you know, the reason why I titled this video, you know, about risks and stuff, is that, you know, there's a lot of ways I want to invest my time and my money right now. Do I go back to Asia in a couple weeks, or do I, stay here a little longer and, you know, keep Ubering or work a job and save more money? But anything that you do, there's going to be a risk. Even if you do something conservative, there's still risks associated with doing conservative things, right? So what I'm kind of getting at is, you should just do what you want to do as long as there's not like catastrophic, potential, and you should go for it. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay, because you're kind of in the same position as if you just didn't do it in the first place. A guy was saying he made a company without any capital. He hired 4 IT guys on $50 an hour and sell IT services to the U.S. In U.S. wage is much higher. That is our edge. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. I know some people that have done that. I have an acquaintance who is from Scotland, and he moved to Thailand when he's almost 50 years old now, but he moved to Thailand when he was 25 years old. He saved up around 25,000 British pound, and he said, I just can't do it here in the UK anymore. He just couldn't take it. He moved to Thailand, and he started a recruiting company, and it started off as a small company. And how I know him is, my dad was one of the first big investors in his company, and after that, his company took some traction. It started to grow, and now he has the biggest recruiting company in central Thailand. So in the whole Bangkok, Chonburi area, this guy is a very successful individual, and he decided to put everything on the line and go to Thailand, and it ended up working in his favor. He's never gone back to Scotland since. He loves Thailand. He has a Thai wife and 2 kids, and he's an example of someone who really, he's an example of someone who really made it. But I've met this person, and I've had time to sit down at dinners with him and kind of pick his brain, try to learn from someone who is at the place that you want to get to. And to be honest with you guys, something that I've realized about these people is it doesn't really matter where they are, whether they're in the UK or India or America or Thailand or Canada or Brazil. If you are that type of person, you're going to be successful no matter what. So at the end of the day, we all have excuses that we can make. And, many times you see people living the dream in Thailand, but a lot of times you don't see the hard work and effort it took of literally, 15 to 20 years of that individual trying to get that big offer with the company, and literally probably getting rejected hundreds, if not thousands of times, people not believing in you. But you only need one person. You only need one person to give you a chance. And as long as you're a good individual and you do what you promised to do, then you're gonna make it in the end. So yeah, guys. But yeah, labor's cheap in Thailand. It's not that cheap in Thailand anymore. It's much cheaper in India and Vietnam. And as far as Thailand goes, it's probably not necessarily the best place for that. And but you know, if you go to Rayong or Sriracha or the outskirts of Bangkok, there's a ton of, I mean, there's infrastructure and logistics like you wouldn't believe. It's one of the most crazy things you ever see. There's one of the biggest ports in the world there, and there's a lot of competition as far as capitalists in Thailand. So core idea is export, be it product or service. Core idea is export, be it product or service. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what you're thinking. I have one thing about Thailand that a lot of people might not realize is a lot of products in America or Europe are cheaper, right? In Europe or America than Thailand. So actually, sometimes, I mean, I know people who import things into Thai. Export's a good idea. But I think to be successful, you always have to do what other people aren't, right? So if 1,000 people have thought of the same idea you have, then it's probably not going to work. It still could work, but you have a lot of competition. But when you do things that don't have a lot of competition, there's a higher percentage of you actually becoming successful. And so there's a lot of companies and brands. I mean, if you think of things like Louis Vuitton, do you think that's cheaper in Italy or Thailand? I can tell you right now, it's far cheaper in Italy than it would be in Thailand. And so if you can find ways to import things and have discounted prices, I've seen people start businesses in Bangkok doing that. Easier said than done. But these type things too, they take an astronomical amount of effort too, because the competition is so large, but you could certainly do it. A lot of things are made in Thailand, and Thailand has really good products, high quality. I think Thailand has, actually your idea is pretty good because Thailand has really, really good quality. A lot of people don't know that about Thailand. And a lot of other Asian countries and Western countries, they don't realize how good of quality Thai products are, because, when you think of high products, you think of what? Say it in the chat. What Asian countries, tell me in the chat, guys. There's 2 Asian countries. Well, there's a couple, but what are the Asian countries that have the highest quality? We all know what they are. But a lot of people forget about Thailand, and Thailand actually has very high quality. We'll see if anyone answers that question. If not, I'll tell you guys. But yep. Quality and price are both important. You're right. That's right. And, if you can have the highest quality at the lowest price, then you're going to be successful. Bottom line, if you have the best quality at the lowest price, then you're going to be successful. So, the 2 countries I was thinking about with very high quality in Asia would be Japan, right? They'd be number 1. And then Korea. Korea's a good, pretty high quality. And then, Taiwan has, high quality products as well. But, Thailand has some really nice stuff. They make good stuff. They manufacture nice stuff. They have nice luxury items. And, you know, they can be pricey sometimes, but you know, if you can find a way to purchase them in bulk and wholesome, you know, you could probably have a good business. And let's see. China utilize utilities is cheap labor to export cheap. I think you meant to say China. I think you meant to say China utilizes. China utilizes its cheap labor to export cheap. Yeah. And the thing about China is, I mean, they're kind of the best in the world, you know? Yeah, there you go, with a Z though. China's the best in the world. As far as manufacturing goes, it's not even close. China's the best. You know, they build things cheaply. Their quality is getting better as time goes on. And their robotics are the best in the world. China has the best robotics, and you know, I think it's pretty obvious that, you know, China's a fabulous place to, you know, to invest in if you're a company trying to, you know, manufacture. So yeah, it's crazy, you know. You know, I remember times flying into Hong Kong, and you know, you just were flying, you know, over the China Sea, and you look underneath you, and there's more ships than, you know, you would ever see, all going across the Pacific, and it's really amazing to see that. It's unbelievable to think about, you know, the logistics of, you know, how all this product, you know, goes from China to everywhere in the world, right? And you know, so much goes into that, whether that be, you know, geopolitics or investments. It's really interesting. All right, 1 second, guys. All right, 1 second, guys. I'll be back in the chat. I gotta send some text messages. Let's see here. All right. But we have to think ideas about business in Thailand and also with little capital. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Not in China. Yeah. Right. All right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. You know, Thailand's good, but you know, I think there's also some better, Thailand's not the only good place too. So there's you know, I have a couple other countries in the back of my mind too that I might be going to here very soon. So the channel might be surprised. I might end up in a new country. So we'll see, guys. I do like Thailand a lot though. Thailand's easily one of the best places I've ever been. It's absolutely amazing. There's something about being in Thailand that you just feel good. You feel alive. The energy is so good in Thailand. What other countries? Well, one country that you know, I've been thinking about here is Cambodia. I've been to Cambodia quite a few times, and logistically speaking, there's a lot of advantages for me relocating to Cambodia. And I'm probably going to make some videos about that. There's a good chance I will go to Cambodia soon, and kind of I want to further explore it with my YouTube channel, because, you know, there's not a lot of people who are in Phnom Penh who are making videos. There's a couple people So as far as making YouTube videos, it's a good opportunity, you know, and I want to make videos showing people places that they've never seen before. So the problem with, you know, Thailand and Bangkok is, you know, there's not as many jobs in teaching because everybody knows about Thailand. There's so many influencers there. I mean, that's why everyone knows about Thailand. It's like when you look at Instagram and YouTube, everybody's making videos about Thailand. So, you know, and then I talked about this yesterday. The visa situation in Cambodia is so much better than Thailand. It's so much better. And one of the main reasons why I had to come back to America so often is because I've had a couple different types of visas in Thailand, but even if you get, and I know the DTV visa is better now, but back in the days, a few years ago, there wasn't the DTV visa, so you would have to figure out ways to get visas in Thailand, and it's just Thailand has a lot of rules and bureaucracy. Of course, like Cambodia isn't as big as Thailand, and there's not, you know, as many, I guess, cities and stuff like that. But Cambodia is an amazing place, and I say this, it's weird because Cambodia is so close to Thailand, but when I'm in Cambodia, I have a totally different feeling than when I'm in Thailand. I feel differently. And there's something about being in Cambodia where there's just no pressure. You just feel so free. You feel so free. And I really love that feeling. Yeah, Cambodia can be a good alternative. Yeah, so, you know, Thailand's good. Cambodia, I really think I might be heading there next, guys, because I've really enjoyed, every time I've gone to Cambodia, I've really enjoyed it. Yes. Yeah, and that's another thing well, I can get into that a lot. We can talk about that. And I'm glad thank you for saying that, Asen, because that might be a good video idea to talk about Cambodia English teachers. Because it's a lot easier to become a teacher in Cambodia than Thailand. Because in Cambodia, you don't have to have a degree, and they'll hire people who aren't from native English speaking countries. So if you're from Africa or another Asian country, you can still teach in Cambodia, and it's pretty easy to do that. And to be honest with you, the salary is almost the same as Thailand, and the cost of living in Cambodia is a lot cheaper than Thailand. That's another thing that a lot of people forget about Thailand, is it's becoming very expensive. Unless if you live in the north in Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai or Isan. If you're going to the busy, popular areas in Thailand, it's not cheap. Code SIXIR. What's up, man? I don't know if I've seen you in the chat. Welcome to the channel. How's the pay? I'm assuming you're referring to the pay as far as Cambodia teaching. And the pay is right around $1,000. So it's about the same as Thailand. And I know a lot of people will say, you know, $1,000 is, you know, that's not enough money. But you can get a nice apartment in Phnom Penh for $150 a month. You can eat for an entire month for $150. And I mean, I know, you know, expats who live there on, you know, $500 a month easily. Yeah, so you know, it goes back to what I was when I was talking about earlier. You guys shouldn't use these English teaching jobs as something to do as a career, unless if you really love it. But what it is it's a stepping stone to get out of the matrix and step your foot into a new country And then on the side, work on something that will bring prosperity in the long term, such as a YouTube channel, your online offer, cryptocurrency, a service. And so by doing this, in the long run, this is going to give you the opportunity to have a better life. I teach music and the pay is shit right now. Yeah, where do you teach? I'm interested. But yeah, that's part of my thing with this channel is that, I want to help people get into a better situation. And, what I always tell the people, is to, you have to figure out a way to survive, right? But you have to be working on something that will become, successful in the long run and something that you enjoyed. All right, so let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about, the pay as far as music teachers go and stuff like that. And I'm not exactly sure as to what country you're oh, okay. Yeah, there's a couple countries, so I'm not there's a couple countries that could be, so I'm kind of interested. If I know the country, then maybe I could have some more context. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunity in $4 an hour. So I'm trying to think. I guess it depends how many hours you teach a day. I'm trying to compare that to like Asia. Another thing that another thing that I might make a video for this for you guys, but another way to make money, especially if you're only making like $4 an hour, is to start your online English profile. I have an account with Amazing Talker, which is out of Taiwan, and I have a student list of well over 100 students that I've gained over the past 2 years or so, and that's always a good way to make money if you stay consistent with that over time and you build good relationships with your students and you provide a good service. You won't have to be teaching in person anymore. You can be teaching on your computer and kind of live wherever you want. I'm trying to help you guys out. Yeah, man, for sure. That's why I made this channel. If you guys like it, you can get subscribed to the channel. I try to make videos that provide value. I genuinely want to help you guys live the life that you want to live. I think there's a lot of people right now that are living with their eyes closed. And I just want to give you guys some understanding and I want you guys to be aware that you guys matter and there's something that you guys can do more in your life. You guys can provide something for other people, make an impact on their lives, and also live a prosperous, meaningful life yourself. So that's what this channel is kind of about. And I'm trying to give you guys some insight here. So let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna come back in 3 months. Keep it up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Tell you the results. Hey, yeah, dude. Let me know how it goes. Not everything is gonna work, but if you just keep trying, eventually something's gonna hit. So I know it can seem desperate sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's just about you never giving up and keep showing up every single day and make that commitment with yourself. Don't worry about the results or what other people think about what you do. Just make that promise to yourself that you're going to show up every single day, and I promise you it's going to be worth it. Love it. Hey, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Michael Martell, what's the tutoring thing called? It's called Amazing Talker. So it's all one word, Amazing Talker. It's a new company out of Taiwan, and it's pretty solid. Has some competition, but I mean, like I said, around a year ago, I was able to build out like a client list of around 100 students. That took me a long time. It didn't happen overnight, but if you stay very consistent with it, it can work for you. All right, let's see. What else do we got? Let's see. Some opportunities to, yep, of course. You are real, Marcus Arnios of our time, bro. Mad respect. Hey, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I watch videos. People in the USA make $5K a month and profit from small food truck or transportation or trucking. Is it for real or just hoax? No, it's real. It's 100% real. And I have family who are actually Thai. I'm not going to explain how that works. As you guys can tell, I'm not Asian, but we'll leave it at that. And they want to start a food truck in America, and they're incredibly good cooks. As you guys know, people from Thailand can cook crazy good. And they have friends who are, my family has friends who are Mexican, and a lot of Mexicans in America have food trucks. And a lot of them make $8,000 to $10,000 a month near me. So they're making a lot of money. Now, you have to invest in the truck, right? So that with the kitchen and the food inspections, that's going to take some capital to invest. But if you can do that, you can make a pretty solid money. So I hope that answers the question. Sub Richard, I'll let you know. Hey, dude, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're part of the channel. Believe in God, keep going. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. More than a year or in the ballpark. Are you talking about Amazing Talker? Because I would say, you know, if you want to go down the route of teaching online, first thing is this: do me a favor and do your own research, because these things change a lot. A year ago, Taiwan was becoming popular because, if you guys didn't know, geopolitically, China stopped letting Western teachers teach in the country. So what happened is, like, the online space really blew up. And so Taiwan and Hong Kong made this company called Amazing Talker, and it was a platform to teach online. So it caught a lot of traction, but there was high competition because, like I said earlier, you couldn't teach in the country. Now that's changed. So now you can teach in China. So they changed that. So the geopolitics had changed. So please do me a favor and do your own research on the best platform for you to teach in. And you know, try to do diligent research, because Amazing Talker worked for me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. So I'm trying to give you guys some ideas, but you guys have to do your own work and take it seriously, right? Like, you guys have to be in the mindset of delayed gratification. If you guys don't know what delayed gratification means, it's about doing things now that will create results long in the future. If you think like that, if you think of doing things now, even if you don't see results, but if you keep doing them every single day, then eventually you're going to be successful, right? So what I'm telling you is, it's going to be painful. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, guys. Like, I mean, there was times where I was literally teaching 10 students a day in Vietnam. I had a little tiny 1-bedroom apartment in Da Nang, Vietnam. And I would lock myself in that bedroom from morning to nighttime and do client acquisition and tutor people the service. And it was brutal. It was brutal. And I was barely making any money. But I did it because I wanted to help people. I actually cared about my students a lot. And I wanted to build those connections, right? Because now I have those students that I can use as references, right? So now that I have all those students who let me reviews and that I have personal connections with, I have testimonials, right? So 10 students but no money, how? Well, because when you first provide services, sometimes you had to do things like free classes, right? So you're competing with the market. And as you guys know, the online industry is extremely competitive. Everybody wants to work online. So, the reality is if you want to get ahead, I think my friend Sen said this in the chat earlier, you have to have the highest quality for the lowest price, right? So a lot of people quit Amazing Talker. Like a lot of people quit it because they do it for 2 or 3 months and they don't see any results. But this is probably not I know people who have gotten results, to be honest with you. I know someone who made $3,000 in 2 months. Per month. So like the first month they made like $1,000. The second month they made $3,000, and they actually got all the way up to literally making like $7,000 a month teaching English online. So, for some people it's going to work, right? But not for everybody, right? And for me, it was a little slower. And so like I said, I was teaching like 10 people a day for very low prices. But what matters is like you get those testimonials, right? So, that goes back to delayed gratification. Like you have to prove that you can do the service, right? And you might even have to do that for free. You might have to teach people for free for a little while. And then once you provide that service, then you can, be more selective and teach people for a higher price. So on Amazing Talker, you set your price. So, I know teachers who are mentors to me on Amazing Talkers who literally have taught like 5,000 lessons. And of course, if you taught 5,000 lessons and you have like a 5-star rating, you can set your price very high. So I know people who have a set price of like $38 an hour. So think about it. You're getting paid $38 an hour and you're teaching like 8 students a day. You're making almost like 300 USD a day. Now that is way easier said than done. That took that girl a lot of effort to do that. But if you're willing to put in the work, then you can get the results. But all right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Yes, you had to make a name, create a brand, only then. Yep, that's exactly right. All right, let's see. Code. Richard, as my ADHD brain can't handle your English teaching tone, I will leave and do some work. Just know you helped someone today and it's going to come back to you. I appreciate that, man. And hey, dude, don't let ADHD stop you. I have Tourette syndrome myself. I don't know if you guys can tell. I have Tourette syndrome and obsessive compulsive disorder, both diagnosed. And I grew up my whole life people telling me that you can't be successful because of your disabilities, saying that I can't do this and I can't do that and I'm not going to be as smart as all the other kids. Don't ever listen to what other people tell you what you can and what you can't do. That's between you and you. And as long as you never give up, ultimately, faith and fate will be in your favor. So yeah, man, I appreciate it. But yeah, it'll work out, I promise. But yeah, guys, I got excited talking about that because I love teaching. I love teaching. I really, really love teaching. I hate school. I hate school so much. I always hated being in school, but I love teaching. And if I can help give you guys some knowledge, then I'm sure you guys can tell I'm excited right now, because I really want to help people. Like, I really want to help people succeed. Like, that's my main goal. Like, that's my main goal. Like, I just want to like provide as much value as I can to as many people that I possibly can, and help as many people as I can actually become successful. Like, that's really the goal. Oh, what's up, JP? My boy JP's in the chat. Everybody say what's up to JP. He's helped me make some of these videos. So you're exactly right. As a business owner, you need to work for cheap to build clients and reputation. With is building your brand. Once you have that, you can charge more than you have the demand. Yep. So yeah, see, JP, guys, he's a business owner. He's had the bravery to go down a route in life where you yourself have to take responsibility for your actions. And ultimately, what he's telling you and what I'm telling you guys is, you're not just going to get success at first, right? It goes back to delayed gratification, which means you have to do things now with no results for massive amounts of success in the future. And if you have the ability to do that consistently for a long period of time, you will eventually be the one on the top of the pyramid. So, I mean, I know I wish it wasn't like this. I wish that I could just start a YouTube channel and get millions of views in the first week and be able to sell things and make millions of dollars in a week, but that's just not how it works, And that's why fortune favors the bold, If you have the bravery to go down a new trail rather than the beaten path, then, in the long run, this is going to pay off tenfold. I'll be back in 1 second. All right, guys, we've had a couple people, I just had to check the studio for a second, but we've had a couple people subscribe to the channel in the chat here. I really appreciate it, guys. Welcome to the channel. We're going to keep doing these live streams on a daily basis, and we're going to have productive conversations. I could talk about things that would get more views, right? Like talk about clavicular, or talk about, whatever is blowing up in the media, but we're not going to talk about that. Even if it doesn't get us as many views, we're going to talk about things that are productive and will, eventually help us in the future. And you guys in the chat are really the reason why I can make these videos easily, because you guys give me ideas to talk about. So please continue to put things in the chat, whether they're questions or if you guys have advice for me, or if you have ideas, my job in these chats is to basically just be the iterator, right? To say what you guys say and kind of talk about the ideas. So you guys please feel involved. I'm trying to build a community. I'm trying to build a community, and in fact, I'm trying to build, the best community. I want to, build a community that's based upon success. All right, let's see. Is there any product price arbitrage between U.S. and Asia? Pure import and export and profit from the price difference. That's a lot of words. I got to reread that. Sorry, I'm not the best reader. Is there any product price arbitrage between U.S. and Asia? Pure import and export and profit. So I think what you're saying is you're asking if there's a product where I've seen it in Asia that is cheaper than what it is in America, the same thing? And the answer to that question is yes. And, you know, like I told you earlier, and I know a lot of people are going to find this hard to believe, there's many products that are cheaper in America than what they are in Asia. And I'll say that again. There's a lot of products that are cheaper in America than what they are in Asia. And here's the reason why. It's because America has a very large market, right? So America is really import dependent, right? Basically how the global economy works is you send something America for USD back to you, right? USD is the standard, right? So the goal for China is they want to hold USD. Now, America it wants a lot of products, right? And so because America has such a variety of products, they had to compete, right? So that makes things cheaper. So my idea for you that I was telling you earlier is to try to find a product in America. I kind of forget. I think you're from India, if I can remember right. But, well, I'm going to tell you just a short story. I have a friend who's half American, half Thai. And I'm not going to get into the details, but he lives in Oslo, Norway now, and for half the year, and he also lives in Thailand. He buys things in Oslo, Norway, and he brings them into Thailand. Now that sounds counterintuitive, right? Because Norway is the most expensive country in the world, or close to it. Norway is far more expensive than the United States. So it doesn't make sense, right? But the reality is luxury products in Europe are cheaper in Europe, right? Like if you guys are interested in cars, like are BMWs cheaper in Germany or America? They're cheaper in Germany, right? Like, and if you've been to Germany, like like a BMW isn't really a big deal. It's like driving a Toyota Camry in America. But if you drive a BMW in America, it's like, wow, you have some money. You know what I'm saying? So if you can take those products and bring them into Asia, then that is, the best strategy. Because I know arbitrage is a big word now. But what I want to tell you guys, and I've talked about this about Thailand a lot, is arbitrage will only work in scarcity. So we're getting into economics a lot now. So I'm not going to go too much into it. But what that means is Thailand has all these people coming into Thailand from G7 countries, from Western countries that have a lot of money. And what happens is Thailand just no longer becomes cheap because all the money is going into Thailand, right? So that's why I'm suggesting, like on my videos and stuff, like these people that want to find opportunities in Asia to maybe, check out some of the other countries. Now, I still love Thailand for the culture, right? Like for what it is. Like I talked about that earlier. Like I would live in Thailand even if it was as expensive as America because I love Thai food. I love the culture. I love getting, my head massaged for what, like 100 baht. I love the beaches. I love the islands. I love everything about Thailand. But, I just think that business in Thailand is very difficult. It's not easy, but it can still be done. And I know a lot of people who have businesses on Sukhumvit Road, and they can work, but you got to be creative, right? Because Thailand is one of the most competitive markets there are, So yeah, guys. Well, that's that's true, right? But if there's, so you say economically arbitrage will work until hourly wages become equal between the two countries. Well, in theory, that's true, but the issue is a labor shortage, right? And so if there's no one to hire, or you're competing against, like, let's just take some companies that are from Thailand. You got, well, Toyota's leaving, right? But we'll say that. We can take Harley Davidson and we can take Ford. So these are multi-billion dollar companies, right? They're going to be able to provide a pleasure of package for employees. That they're going to be able to have good pay. They're going to be able to have benefits. They're going to be able to provide stability. So, it comes down to, and I'll tell you something about Thailand. I'll give you some inside information here about Thailand. Is Thais are very selective. Just something about Thais and in work culture in Thailand. We can get into Thai culture a little bit here, but Thai people will not stay with you if they don't feel loyal to you, right? And once again, I said it's so competitive in Thailand. If Thai people feel like they can go somewhere better, what they'll do is silent quit. They won't tell you, they won't say anything, and they'll just leave and they'll go to the other company. And that's kind of how things work in Thailand. You see a lot of Thais that they'll bounce around from different jobs. And the one reason why is they can, There's a big work market. It's not necessarily where it's a type of country where you can use arbitrage in your favor because there's an abundance, right? So they can just bounce around and work at, better places. As far as people that I know who have done what you're saying, I think India is has far better opportunity as far as arbitrage. And I'm not really, creating opportunity is good, right? I think that's the right framework to look at it in. So if you can create opportunity and give people a better life, then that's a positive. And I think you can do that in Thailand. But what I'm suggesting to you is you're going to have to find a way to make it unique, right? You're going to have to make it a way so like the Thai people are going to want to work for you. Because there's so much opportunity in Thailand for Thai people, right? As far as where they can work. But I don't know how much, it seems like you might have a decent amount of capital too. If you have, a large amount of capital, I think these things could have a lot of potential for you. Actually, I think you stated maybe you don't have a lot of capital. Sorry, I'm getting lost in the chat here. I think I got a little bit confused. Because if you don't have a lot of capital, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, if you just look at like visa requirements alone, as far as Thailand goes, it takes capital. Like Thailand's not a country you can just show up with with a backpack and start a business. There's a lot of bureaucracy in the Thai government. Okay, 30 to 50K. That's pretty solid. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, you might be. I mean, you might be able to make something like that work. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. I think that's good. I think you can probably do a lot with that there. Like, I mean, I know people who have bought restaurants and started businesses with, around 40 or 50. So, if you got a solid idea, then I think you might. I think it's not a horrible idea, All right, let's see here. Do you think selling in U.S. much easier as U.S. have more disposable income from Asia? That's a good question. Do you think selling in US much easier as US have much more disposable income than Asia. Man, generally speaking, America, out of anywhere I've been, America has the most. America has the most opportunity out of everywhere I've seen, because the market in America is just so vast. It's so vast. You can go at so many different angles in America because of what you just said. There's a lot of disposable income in America. A lot of people have money to spend. So I think that America is better, but what I will say is this, is if you can find your niche, like let's say that you go to like Da Nang, Vietnam, right? That place is really like blowing up as far as like Americans moving out to Vietnam. And you create a like a breakfast spot, like an American breakfast spot, right? Like a place that has ham, toast, eggs, you have biscuits and gravy, you have all these like traditional American pancakes, you have all these breakfast foods that American people love. Because there's a lot of American people in Da Nang, and it's generally a new market, you might be able to basically find it easier to sell that product because your competition's so low. And I'll give you an example of that. I lived in Jam Tien, which is a city next to Pattaya, around 12 years ago. And there was a restaurant there called Pastrami and Rai. It's still there. If you guys are in Jam Tien, Thailand, it's called Pastrami and Rai. It's in Jam Tien, and it's two brothers who were from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they said, you know what, we went to Thailand, but they don't have good American sandwiches. There's nowhere we can find. At that point, there wasn't even Subway in Thailand, and they thought, you know, if we go there and we make really good sandwiches, we don't have anybody to compete with. We're the only ones, and there's a ton of Americans in Jam Tien and Pattaya. There's so many Americans, expats living there. So they did that, and it became incredibly successful. And it's one of the most well-known restaurants for sandwiches in, you know, a metro population of about, 1.2 million people. So, it goes, guys, like, I think there's always a way, right? There's always a way to find success, right? So, you have to be kind of creative and stuff, but if you're dead set on wanting to go to Thailand, and you don't want to compromise from going to other countries that, are in that area, then I would say just do it, Even if it's difficult, you should still try it, Like, even if it's better to do that than to compromise and to do something that you don't really want to do because someone told you it's not going to work out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I think there. All right. Yeah, guys, continue to put things in the chat if you want. I'm going to go get a drink of water, and I'll come back. 1 sec. Oh. All right, guys. What else, guys? Any other questions? Any other ideas? Let's see here. but they say restaurant business is much more likely to make losses as it has a very little entry barrier. Yep, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I think the restaurant business is pretty risky. You should always go for it. And when you fall, yeah, JP says you should always go for it. And when you follow your dreams, everyone will doubt you. But after success, they will always congratulate you. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, it's like, it's really like you shouldn't listen to anybody but yourself. Like you can take advice from people and you should listen and consider what they say. But as long as what you want to do is morally acceptable, I think you should go for it, So, I definitely agree with that. And to add on to that, once again, even if the odds aren't in your favor, and even if there's a high chance of failure, you should still go for it because if you care about it enough, it's definitely worth it. So, yep. All right, guys, what else? We've been going for almost an hour and 20 some minutes. So is there anything else you guys want to discuss? We can keep going a little bit or... All right, guys, let me know if you have anything else to say, guys. If not, I'm going to go to bed. Tell us business ideas. Well, like that's a pretty vast question, like I think that the first thing you had to ask yourself, and actually JP in the chat's probably even better to talk about this than me, but I think the first thing is to think about what you're good at, right? For example, Gypstar is really creative and he's a craftsman. He's good at building things. So for him, it only makes sense to do something in business that involves that. So, that's the first part. And yes, I do study business, but I think that it's still, when you consider to do something like, you shouldn't do something that you don't want to do, right? Like if you just want to make money, then, you can go into these industries that, that have higher potential. So to kind of answer you, Asen, if you just don't have a passion about anything, you don't care about anything, then just pick the highest paying career and just go into that and try to make as much money as you can and try to do something decent, But, if you want to go into business, I think that you're only going to stick with it if you really believe in it. Because many things in business just won't make sense. Like even if you know economics really, really well, business legal, all these different things, there's going to be obstacles that come up. And if you don't really believe in what you're doing, it's not going to matter because you're going to quit because you're not passionate about it. So my business idea is to think about what you like doing. And if you want to go down the route of business, which is also not meant for everybody, not everybody is meant for living a lifestyle where there's no paycheck guaranteed to you. If you can handle that and you're really passionate about something, then I would suggest getting into business, right? And as far as business ideas, I'm I'm not gonna elaborate too much on it, but I think the best model is personal branding. You should make the brand about yourself. And this can be applicable to anything. You know, if you're good at programming, then make your product about you programming. Make a personal brand about you programming. Make some projects that you're passionate about. Provide a service for free so you can build trust and rapport, and really go all in on that. But once again, this goes back to the whole thing of what are you passionate about? Because you're only going to do this if, one second. Okay, so you're only going to, do it if, you're passionate about it. So I hope that helps. I hope that was a good answer there. Yeah, no, dude, I hear you, man. I hear you, man. Like, my passion is to live in Southeast Asia too. Um, and yeah, I could go into this. I could go into a whole thing about it. Because I lived there when I was a child, and I saw a lot of older people who I would observe in my life moving to Southeast Asia. And, what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to have a reason to be there, right? Because no matter where you go, if you don't have something like a reason why you're there, like, it's just not, it's going to end up getting boring, right? So, like, my passion is to live in Southeast Asia too. But what would you like to do while you're there? Like, what are you passionate about? Like, are you passionate about, like, teaching people? Because if you are, you could be a content creator, or you could be an educator. Hi, Certified Random. You can, also you can, try to find a way to participate in the local society. Like, a lot of people forget this too, but, like, there are jobs that you can do in these countries. Like, if you just want to move, like, if you're just passionate about Southeast Asia, like, try to find a way to work there, and I know, like, it's not super easy, and I'm not sure exactly where you're from, but for example, like, I mean, I know a French company in I'm not going to say the company's name, but it's a company in Bangkok, and they hire mainly Thai people, but if there's French people that apply, they hire them because a lot of the people they consult with speak French. So, I'm not exactly sure where you're from. What I'm saying to you, dude, is, like, dude, don't give up on it, man. If you want to move out there and you're determined about it, dude, just figure out a way to do it, man. And never give up, dude. It'll be a journey for sure. It'll be a journey for sure, man. But at least you have something that that you want to do. That's good. All right. Gypstar says, open a Thai restaurant in your country and hire authentic Thai people and build connections in Thailand where you can travel between. Yeah, and I just watched a video not too long ago about somebody from New York who did that. It was someone who, made a lot of money in America through working a corporate job, and eventually started a business where kind of what JP said is they outsourced the business to actual Thai people, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have Thai people in my family, and they just cook a totally different way. It's almost hard to understand. Like, in America, like, we measure all our food when we cook it. Like we have like measuring cups and we make sure everything's specific. Thai people just throw it in the bowl. They don't measure it or anything, but they know how to do it. They know how to do it. So, you know, you can, you know, if you just, you can outsource too. Outsourcing's a huge thing. You know, if you're someone where you don't exactly have something you're super passionate about, but you understand business, then you can kind of go, you know, that route too. But I've kind of given like a variety of different options in this chat, right? I've told you, I'll go over them right now. You can get a degree and teach in Thailand. You can not get a degree and build your own platform and teach online. You can work a job in Thailand and apply for a work permit. You can invest and create a personal brand, right? Something that makes you money through your own offer where you can live off of that in Thailand. I've talked to you guys about working for people who own a personal brand or a YouTube channel and selling products for them. If you guys are interested about that, I might have someone on a live stream in the next couple days where you guys can talk to this person. He makes, I think he makes probably close to 6 figures, and he just sells things online. He lives in Thailand. He lives in Bangkok. He lives near Thong Lor, really nice district, and he's 22 or 23 years old. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in that, like I said before, sales is not easy. It sounds much more easier said than done. The thing with sales is you're going to get rejected 99% of the time, and you're going to have to figure out a way to learn how to communicate well. But, you know, if you have the audacity to go over some of those hardships, then, and you're not specifically passionate about anything, and you want to make a lot of money, I would suggest sales. But I'm telling you, it's not for everybody. It's brutal. Sales is brutal. But it's applicable to anything. You had to learn sales to sell your product, right? Or you had to have people, you have to talk, right? You have to get people in front of you and talk. So, you know, those are some options. You can teach, you can sell things online. You can, another one I forgot is you can work for a company in your own country and work remotely. You're from Nepal. Cool. Selling anything in my country makes no sense. Major people, dirt poor. Okay, gotcha. Well, it seems like to me you know English, like, because you're communicating to me in the chat. So that's huge, you know. And so I guess some ideas for you is like you could work as like a teacher assistant in Thailand if you wanted to do that. So that's one option. You're not going to make a lot of money, but that's a way of living in Thailand. Or if you can compromise, I was suggesting to someone earlier that Cambodia is a better option for someone who wants to move there to work. Cambodia is a far better option than Thailand. But if you're dead set on Thailand, you can probably make it work too. And you know, my other, you know, option and I like I say this to everybody is to start making YouTube videos and start making your personal brand, right? Sawadee Krab. We have someone from Thailand, so this is really, really good. So for the person in Thailand, we have some people in the chat. Someone's from Nepal, and we have some other people that they want to move to Thailand. So the Many Farong Bai Nai Thailand Cub. so so yeah, guys. So those are some options. And like I said before, like, you know, it might not work out on your first try, right? But if you're really passionate about something, even if it doesn't work, you should stay consistent and keep trying it. So, you know, eventually something will work out. And these things aren't easy, right? Like, moving to another country is it's very difficult, right? It's not an easy thing. So you have to understand that. And you have to not feel sad if it doesn't work out and to keep trying. So, so we have someone, Tracy from daycare says, I go mine on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, actually, I met somebody, I'll tell you guys a story about that. So I met someone eating at a place that had hamburgers in Thailand, and he was from Texas, and he told me what he did to make money was he would rent a truck and he would drive it all around America. He loved traveling, so he would drive from Texas to New York to Minnesota to California, and he would buy things off Facebook Marketplace and put them in the back of the truck. And he would buy things for really cheap because he would go everywhere. And then when he would come back to Texas, he would sell all those products. And he made a lot of money doing it. And so what he would do is, like, you know, he would sell all those products, and then he would take that money and he would travel to like Thailand or Europe or China. I think he went there too. And so, you know, if you guys are passionate about traveling, try to figure out a way to make money traveling, right? Like, once again, easier said than done, but, you know, everything's possible, you know? So guys, we've been going here for like an hour and 36 minutes. So we're probably going to end the video pretty soon here. I appreciate all you guys participating in the chat. I'm going to do these live streams every day. If you guys like my channel, if you guys are interested in traveling and just in general becoming successful, finding a way to live the life that you want to live, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, enter my chats. I promise I'll respond to all the chats. And I'm going to end this video now. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.